A number of civil society groups are in the High Court in Johannesburg to seek relief against Operation Dudula and its leaders. Kopanang Africa Against Xenophobia, the South African Informal Traders Forum, Inner City Federation, and Abahlali BaseMjondolo are pushing back against the organization for what they are calling their xenophobic and unlawful behavior. They're also accusing the state of failing to act against this conduct. For more on this, we're joined by the legal advisor, African Diaspora Global Network, and he joins us live from Johannesburg. You're welcome to the program, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invite, and greetings to the viewers.
Thank you. Let's just get started, shall we? What legal grounds are civil society groups likely to base their case on in seeking relief against Operation Dudula?
Well, look, obviously, the first thing is obviously going to be looking at the hate speech that is peddled by Operation Dudula against, migrants, which include discrimination, which is against the South African Constitution, and that is also against the National Action Plan. The National Action Plan has actually become an act which basically, deals with, xenophobia and any other form of hate speech and racism against any other person. So these are the fundamental, pieces of legislation that they're going to be, basing against it, and also looking at the issue of equality, that, there is equality amongst all people that live in South Africa, and no one should be treated differently. And the mere fact that the police and the Department of Home Affairs have failed to act against, these kind of actions, it clearly means that they have violated the principle in terms of the Promotion of Administrative Justice Act, which is PAJA, which requires that, all government departments must act against any action that is unlawful.
You are the legal advisor, so I have to ask you, and hopefully I don't make you speculate, right? But what possible rulings could the High Court issue in this case, and what would each mean? What would this ruling mean for civil liberties and xenophobia in South Africa?
Look, in terms of civil liberties, what it basically means is that it's not going to interfere with civil liberties for starters, because it is actually going to be coming against, the prosecution of, people that are acting against the law. We have seen this in other cases. If you remember in South Africa, in the case of Standard Bank, where, a person had called, blacks monkeys and all that. So it does not say that it's curtailing, the fact that one has got freedom of speech or freedom of, coming together. But it basically says that in your freedoms, you may not infringe on other people's freedoms. So civil liberties are going to continue, unabated unless they become unlawful in one's civil liberties that they're exercising. They infringe on other people's, liberties. And obviously, what we're looking at is obviously that the High Court is likely going to issue an interdict that in whatever, gatherings and whatever that the Dudula Operation Dudula believes in, they may not say anything that fans xenophobia or hatred, because it is a form of hate speech, because the strong language that is used against migrants include banning them, killing them, kicking them out. So the High Court is likely to issue an order that xenophobia, Operation Dudula is prohibited or interdicted from using any hate speech, from stopping people, that are of migrant origin and requesting IDs from them. And one of the issues that is being challenged is Section 41 of the Immigration Act, which means it's likely going to stop, people being searched without a warrant. And we're also looking at a situation, for example, where we expect that, the High Court may order that should any case be opened against anyone that is, peddling hate speech against, migrants living in South Africa, a civil suit, should therefore be opened.
I want us to ask about the legal obligations that the South African government has to prevent and respond to xenophobic violence and unlawful activities like those that are alleged against Operation Dudula.
Well, it has a very, huge obligation in the sense that, for starters, you will realize that the government is the protector of all that live in South Africa who should enjoy, these liberties. So, and all of them should enjoy unfettered, residence in South Africa. And migrants or foreigners living in South Africa, a lot of them are permanent resident holders. A lot of them, have got work permits, and a lot of them are asylum seekers or refugees, and they are deserving of the protection, of the government. And if anyone has violated the law, they're expected to be treated in terms of the law, not to be treated, with the hatred that comes from ordinary, ordinary citizens fighting against each other. So the government has a duty to ensure that there is no chaos in the country. The government has a duty to ensure that, people live harmoniously. That's why you have had programs that include social cohesion games where migrants and citizens come together to interact and share and learn to live in harmony without, fighting over issues that are beyond them but are government's responsibility.
Vusi, I must say thank you for taking out time to join us.